Hello everybody, my name is Father Troy Overton. I'm the pastor of St. Edward Church. It's a pleasure to welcome you with us here as we try and have a little bit of an instructional video about what it's going to be like to go to Mass as we reopen our church. And one of the most important things you're going to need is one of these. Welcome everybody. St. Edward's Church is going to be reopening for Masses beginning the weekend of May 23rd and 24th. And so we welcome you now to come through visually and take a little tour of what it's going to be like to celebrate liturgy with us for the near future. We're going to have the doors propped open so nobody has to touch the doors going in or out. When you come in, please notice that there's a great deal of signage now in our church that probably tells you more than you want to know, but enough that you need to know what's going on. Most important is that we're still going to be live streaming the 4 o'clock Mass. So for those of you who are not able to or not at this point ready to attend public events, you can still join us in celebrating the Eucharist at 4 o'clock every Saturday and thereafter. It will be taped and be available on our social media platforms for you. Also, there's a notice here that Archbishop Kurtz has dispensed everyone from attending Mass. So that is a general blanket permission for those who, again, are among those whose health is a bit compromised or due to age or concern, even fear and anxiety about being in public spaces right now. You need not worry about that obligation to attend Mass. Being able to join on television or through some other social media platform is more than sufficient to continue the celebration of your Catholic faith. Also, just in general, if you're sick, if you're sneezing, if you got a fever, if you don't feel good, don't come in here because you're going to make everybody else not feel good either. So, common sense, stay at home. Just like you would if you had a cold or anything else, stay home. But we're going to come on in here. Our gathering space is, again, got lots of stuff to read. So if you don't have anything else to do, it's a really good idea to check out the placards that tells you all about the COVID-19 virus, which you probably know a lot about already, but here it is. Most importantly for us are these two tables. We've got 2 stations here. Each of them have a sanitizer spray that someone's going to help you with. You don't have to pick it up yourself. There are gloves if you didn't bring them and you wish to wear them. And perhaps most importantly, there are masks. If you have a mask, please wear it. If you don't, please plan on putting one of these on when you come. And you may keep it with you. Okay? We do want everyone to wear a mask who comes to liturgy for the foreseeable future. Okay? When you come in, you're going to also notice that we got some baskets on the floor. Our offertory is going to be very different. We're not going to be having an offertory procession, no gifts being brought up the aisle, and no collection being taken up by our ushers. So the offering baskets are right here for you to continue to make your offering, which we are so grateful for everyone's continued generosity in supporting our church. So if you want to make a light landing with your offering, that'd be great. If you want a heavy drop, we'll take that too. But please know that that's there. Also, our online giving options continue. And if you haven't done that and you'd like to begin that, maybe now is a good time to do so. So, as we come on in, you're also going to notice that the font is still here. And you will be able to use that. We've upped the sanitizer in that just a bit to help out, again, with germs and things like that. On your left, your right, there will be a basket for you to take a worship aid. The worship aid is a one-time use document. You'll put it back in the same basket. After each Mass, they'll be disposed of, and new ones will be placed out for everyone's use. We are limiting the amount of singing that we're doing for the time being, maybe even the foreseeable future. So with the exception of the responsorial psalm, most of the liturgy's responses are going to be recited, and the music will be instrumental. So unfortunately, that's going to be a big change here for us liturgically at St. Edward's. We love to sing here. And we're going to have to sing in our heart because we might not be able to sing much with our mouth for a little bit. So come on in, and you recognize this, except half the real estate has been taken up with blue tape. Okay, we got blue tape everywhere. We got tape on the floor, tapes in the pews. Every other aisle basically has been roped off with blue tape, which means you can't sit there. Okay, everything else, we ask you to sit freely 6 feet apart in the open rows. If you are a member of the same household, you may sit together. Family members who do not live together must still sit 6 feet apart, however. On the floor, there are a number of blue arrows. Again, these are both directional and distance. They are placed 6 feet apart, so please stay on an arrow, basically, when you're in the aisle. When you're coming into church, you may go in any direction you want to take a seat. During communion, however, these arrows are directional, and we'll explain that in just a minute. So we'll be coming on down, and again, you'll have ushers that will help you sit, and hopefully everybody will be able to find a seat. All the sections of our church are going to be open, even seating in the choir area. So that's our overflow seating. Also, we're going to have seating in the chapel that is particularly reserved for families who have young children and might need to watch the liturgies simulcast through the TV system here. But in the event that we really need that seating, anyone is welcome to sit in the first and the last row of the chairs in the chapel. Again, 6 feet apart. For the distribution of communion, we will be serving the church by sections. The ushers will tell you when to come, and there will be 2 Eucharistic ministers who will distribute hosts to each section simultaneously. There is a blue box where you're going to be able to stand and wait until one of the communion ministers is free. Then you can come, receive your host, and then return to your seat following the directional arrows. Do not come out of that box until the person who has received is completely out of the way and the space is open for you to travel to another Eucharistic minister. We will only be distributing hosts. We're not going to be distributing the precious blood, as we had begun that practice before the discontinuation of public masses. That will continue for the foreseeable future. Okay? The body of Christ. The body of Christ. The body of Christ. At the conclusion of Mass, we will have the final blessing, and the priest and deacon will reverence the altar and process out of church like normal. However, we will ask all of the members of the assembly to please stay in their place and wait to be dismissed by sections by the ushers. Thank you. On your way out of church, please return your worship aid to the basket here. Please don't leave them in your pew. They need to be disposed of and not reused for the next Mass. As you go towards the door, there's a large basket there where you'll find a bulletin. Please take that with you. Again, please do not congregate in church or here in the gathering space after Mass is over in order to have conversation and visit. You may do that out in the parking lot area. Again, maintain your social distancing. And last but not least, you might get a peek into the confessional here, the reconciliation room. The curtain has been taken down and the kneeler removed. So we will be celebrating the Sacrament of Reconciliation every Saturday afternoon at 3 o'clock. However, those confessions will only be face-to-face for the time being. If you wish to make a private reconciliation, you may call the office and select extension 17 and leave a message for me, and I will call you back in order to try and arrange a time when we can do that a bit more privately and perhaps without any with an anonymity. I don't have a screen set up anywhere else, but we'll work on it. So thank you very much. God bless you all. We look forward to seeing you.